So for those of you who joined earlier and did the small version of the arch and the flatten on the chair, sometimes a bigger movement is really what our bodies need, especially at the end of the day or particularly on a Friday. This is the movement that I go to at the end of the day and on Fridays. It's a larger version, it gets more of the body involved, and it feels really, really good. So again, find yourself in your chair a couple inches away from the back, 90 at hips, 90 at knees, and make sure your feet are lifted up on a book if you don't have a 90 degrees without them. So this is my leg without a book, not 90. With the book, I'm at 90. You're going to notice those sit bones grounding down into the chair. And what you'll start with is usually by the end of the day, most of us, when we're at our computers, we start to sort of hunch and curl over and get tired like this. And so we want to go into this movement first to get the therapeutic benefit and lengthen these muscles that have been tight all day. So we actually start to round in more. Head comes down. You know, if you can and it feels comfortable, you can kind of completely roll over. Shoulders kind of come in a bit. You can have your arms long. And then slowly, and you're thinking about these muscles starting to open up. You know, belly kind of comes up and lengthens, shoulders come back a bit. We're going to start to send those sit bones back towards the chair back. And then letting the shoulder blades come back and around. And then maybe, you know, you bring your arms overhead and you really kind of get into that extension of the spine. And then to lengthen those back muscles that are tight right now, then we move consciously out of it and we curl back around. Maybe you roll over your knees if it feels comfortable. Doesn't feel like it's straining or pulling on anything. And then go through that just a couple times. Making sure to keep the pelvis involved with it by sitting back. So now I'm sitting back on the, behind the hip bones, the sit bones, or forward on them. And that's that. That's like my Friday, I'm done with work ritual. And it's important to note that, you know, that doesn't look like anything different that we do naturally. And that's completely right. That's a totally natural movement for our bodies to do. But the reason, and so, you know, that's good because any sort of movement in your body during the workday or at the end of the day or at the end of the week is great because it gets the blood into areas that have been kind of tight for a while or not moving, and oxygen, and those are all good things. But the reason that we get therapeutic benefit is when our brain is connected to the muscles tightening and then consciously releasing and lengthening. That's why this therapy is long-term benefit. So if you can just make sure you're concentrating on, you know, the back all tight here and then moving to the back all lengthened here, that's where you're going to get that frosting on top of the cake.